Imagine being just 6 years old, an age when your entire world is supposed to be made of simple things like crayons, the comfort of your mother's hand, and the innocent laughter of the playground. Now, imagine stepping out of a car into a wall of pure hatred, on a crisp morning in November 1960 in New Orleans, where the hostility waiting on the steps of William Frantz Elementary School burned hot enough to choke the breath right out of you. 4 federal marshals, tall, stern men in sharp suits, formed a protective human shield around a tiny little girl in a stiffly starched white dress, a pristine white bow in her hair, and shiny black Mary Jane shoes. Her name was Ruby Bridges, and she couldn't possibly understand the complex machinery of the law or why the federal government had to force a southern city to open its school doors. She only knew what her eyes saw and her ears heard as a howling, angry mob lined the sidewalks, filled with grown men and women screaming venomous threats and shaking their fists at a child. One woman in the raging crowd held a wooden coffin high above her head, inside of which sat a chilling black baby doll, proving they weren't just protesting integration, but trying to break the spirit of a first grader. Through it all, Ruby walked straight ahead with astonishing grace. She didn't cry and she didn't run, stepping firmly past the wall of fury. Years later, people would ask her how she managed to walk through that living nightmare with her head held high, and Ruby revealed a quiet, heartbreaking secret. She thought they were just yelling because of a noisy Mardi Gras parade. Once she finally reached the safety of the empty principal's office, she did what any brave 6-year-old would do. She stopped, bowed her head, and said a heartfelt prayer, not just for herself, but even for the very people screaming at her door. For months, Ruby sat entirely alone in a vast, silent classroom because frightened white parents pulled all the other children out in fierce protest. Almost all the teachers refused to teach while she was in the building, except for one exceptionally brave soul named Barbara Henry, who courageously crossed the line to sit by Ruby's side every single day. With no classmates to share playground secrets with at lunch and no games of jump rope on the asphalt, Ruby carried a profound, historic burden on shoulders far too small to bear. Yet every single day, Ruby put on her clean dress, walked past the screaming crowd, and opened her textbook, breaking a wall down brick by brick and forever changing the conscience of a nation.
Subscribe.